I had a 30 plus conversation with 30-minute plus 35 minutes, 38 minutes. I can't remember what it was with Michael. And right at the end, he was like, I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of, I'm just rambling too long. And I thought to myself, no, no, you haven't wasted a breath. And when you're one of the few people on earth that knows what's going on, like the severity of what's coming, and you have a wife and 3 kids, and you're trying to figure out what this illness is, along with, you know, when the date is, but the date's something that he and I have already come to and Jamie, from talking to Jamie, it's the same. We've all come to a place of content with whenever. Today, tomorrow, the next day, next month, next year, doesn't matter. We're fine with it. This is a hobby. I look at what I'm doing, with what Michael's doing and what Jamie's doing when she makes some connections, with movie character, words, actors, places, cities, Bible verses. It's just a fun hobby. I certainly don't see it as my purpose. My purpose is the Word of God. And but what's got somebody like Michael very uneasy is this illness, this dark winter. Now, it might not go down till 2024. Inauguration is 2025. Might not go down to 2025. You've got an eclipse on October 2nd, 2024. October 2nd, 2024. 2023 is year of the rabbit. Well, I think 2024 is year of the dragon. $2024 year of the dragon.
According to China Highlights, the dragon is the 5th of the 12 Chinese zodiac animals. Each year has an animal sign according to the 12-year cycle. The next dragon year is 2024. The dragon symbolizes power, nobleness, honor, luck, and success in traditional Chinese culture.
So what are you going to do? They just can go on and on and on. 1988 was year of the dragon. So, what are you going to do? I think a lot of these things are futuristic, like the X across America. I think the abomination is in 2023, and the X across America is just a future tense of God's wrath on the earth. But who knows? So anyway, now Michael is we are in his wheelhouse right now. He has connected so many dots. He's on it like I was on it the other day when the funeral was taking place. And he's seeing connections just like that. If he put them in his prep, this would be fantastic. If he did not, I don't know I'm going to be able to remember it. I wasn't implying that the days are on the progression. I found it interesting that the months were on the progression of 999 months. Yeah, we talked about that on the phone. That's why it's always good if he and I talk on the phone before I do a video, because I'm dialed in to the interpret. I don't have to misinterpret anything. That only happens once in 83 plus years. The first appearance of Batman. And there's not many days left, if I'm not mistaken, with that, if that's what I remember him talking about. JetBlue agrees to buy Spirit Airlines for 3.8 billion. So you got some murder code there with the 38 and the 83. And Earl's address murder was 3803. Had the 383, had both, didn't it? Sure did. Trump to rule like a dictator in second term. Yeah, I was listening to little brother James Key today, and he was kind of going over that. It was an old video from last week, but I finally got around to it. But he's going to wipe out FBI, CIA, Justice, like they're not going to be able to prosecute him. That's pretty much the way this brother James Key, controlled opposition character, was putting it. DC may request National Guard to help with migrants bus to Capitol. Man, I don't know if Michael's put in here these things we talked about today, but there's a lot of connections. And I'm not going to be able to remember it. And that is it with his prep. Golly, that was a lot of stuff. Now, out of all these days, I'll tell you what the text to Trump 88022 could be. That 802 could be the day he rises. What if he was to go down on Sunday, the 31st? As far as the days are concerned, I like the 31st more than any of the other ones. I do like the 30th too, though. '29. Let's go over everything that is this LIV golf tournament. December 14th, 2020, total solar that sits in between the two that made the X. Room 222, release date was on 9/11/1969. The beauty of the 29th is that it is on a Friday, which is my favorite day out of all 7. Followed by Wednesday, followed by Tuesday. I am the chosen one. Obama birth certificate, CDC founded. Godfather release date, Omen release date, Batman Begins release date, Chariots of Fire release date, total lunar that we just had on 5/16. Osama bin Laden Day, May 2nd, 2011. That fake event. Oh, now we've moved into July 30th. Osama bin Laden. Revolutionary War, shot heard around the world. Trump's 7/11 versus 9/11 speech. Franz Ferdinand's assassination that kicked off World War I. Trump announcing he had the corona on October 2nd, 2020. Track down episode. Now, the beauty of July 30th, of him going down on July 30th, him ascending out through a full moon, which would take place in September. The September full moon of September 10th. We're 42 days from it this Saturday. And Jesus, after he died, ascended 42 days later, rose on the 3rd day, and then was with them 40, or alive on the earth for 40. So that is something beautiful about July 30th. But what I love about the 31st is he would rise on August 2nd, 802. Text to Trump. What if that's the day he rises? That's more of his glory day. And perhaps that's what opens the book of Revelation. The crown that is given to him might be his rising. So I don't know. Track down episode when Trump got shot. Saturday Night Live release date, the beginning of it on October 11th. Johnny Carson, initials JC, final show. And these items are for the 31st. 7/11, 2010, Total Solar. Lord of the Rings, The Two Towers, premiere. You know, The Two Towers. Now, this was just a premiere. This was not the USA release date. The movie Shooter, where he was shooting at a Dinty Moore for practice. Dinty Moore came to Trump. Back to the Future released on 7/3/1985. The iPad Goat video was 7/3. And that's our second 7/3. Now, Michael talked about the iPad Goat, I think on his cell phone, it stayed at 7/28. It has always been 7/27 when I click it. If you look at it from the thumbnail, it'll say 7/28, but when you go to click it, it goes back a second. Let's look at this one right here. You see this thumbnail, it says 16/26. Where my cursor is, Michael Chandler on Dustin Poirier, 16/26. When I click it, it's going to back up to 16/25. 19 times out of 20, well, even more than that, does it do that? And as you can see now, it's at 16/25. So it always backs up a second. So it's interesting how when he clicked it, it was different. iPet Goat YouTube. He said he found another one that was even different. It was like 7/31. So let's go to, this is the 7/30, and you saw it back down to 7/31. This is by CGB Bros, but see, this is not the Helio font. And I only go by the Helio font one. Anyway. So Back to the Future released on 7/3. The next one is August 9th. Anything that occurred on July 3rd. So since two things are on July 3rd at different years, I guess we should pay attention to this past July 3rd when Sirius went down. I do believe that's when the dog days of summer began. The dog days of summer 2022. Yeah, July 3rd to August 11th. So Sirius will rise on August 12th. He'll go down on Wednesday the 10th. So that July 3rd is a big deal. And August 9th is the next progression. That means the dog days of summer, if the 9th is 37, so it's a 39-day celestial ritual for those crackers. You have a partial lunar in 2001. Dark Knight Rises release date, No Time to Die release date, Quantum Leap episode, It's a Wonderful Leap. All of those are just absolutely perfect for him going down on Sunday. Sunday, Bloody Sunday by U2. And Rising on the 2nd. I'm a big fan of August 1st, not because of the grid. The only personal item I've got for this 31st is April 13th, 2012. The Lord called me out of the world, started the process. And on the 10-year anniversary this past year, I was 22196 days old, which is literally right in the number of me and Trump combined. 1, 3, 4, 6, 3, 22196. And I was 22196 days old on that 10-year anniversary. So that's a heavy cipher. And that's all I can say. It's a heavy cipher. It's only one in my personals, but I'll tell you, that's a gigantic one. And Michael is all about this LIV golf thing, man. These cast of characters he's looking at with, I'm starting to go back now and remember our conversation. So it was Jenner, Caitlin, Charles Barkley, Lawrence Taylor, who wore number 56. And we all, we were talking about Super Bowl 56. It seemed to come up a lot back in the day in Gematria's searches. And it's just, I'm all for it. But I lean toward the 31st. If it's going to occur at this golf tournament, for some reason, I just, like my son had an address for 4 years, 1731, 1731. Had that 731, and I was watching a movie today called The Big Splash or something like that. And this car tag, I didn't even bother with taking a picture or video in it, but it was just this gigantic tag that had 731 on it. Gigantic. And like, I just didn't even bother because I'm so high on this August 10th, and I don't know, it would almost be like it's just too good to be true. I will tell you that my 88-year-old aunt is right now up north in Illinois visiting her son. And they will be there for another week before they head back. And I would just love it if Trump went down while she was there to be taken care of by her son. She has her son and his son's longtime girlfriend. They're one of those couples. They're very happy with just not being married. So, to each their own on that, of course. 99.9% of all sheep are lost. So what are you going to do? I'm not going to sit here and judge their salvation by what they're doing today. But, on an earthly realm, I totally respect it. And if the truth wasn't in me, I'd probably feel the same way about marriage. But, the Lord gives you the truth. You can't see it any other way. You want to have sex, get married. So, then there's a few items on the 1st and 2nd. We'll get to those later. But There's something really big there for that July 31st, from my personal perspective. So anyway, that's tomorrow. We're all set. Can I think of anything else that Michael and I talked about? Because it was so much that I just didn't record it in my brain. But there was just, I think some stuff was gematria, ties, there's just so, I remember he talked about Sir Francis Bacon gematria. It was just so much. And he was just freestyling. I was just listening, man. It was there's just a lot that points to him going down right now at this golf tournament thing. I told him, I said, I personally, I can't see anything till the 10th. After the 10th, I'll start playing with other things. The 813, the 818, 819. Now, don't forget that 819 that I got really high on. That is the beginning of, last time I had sex was 818 in 2012. So 819 would be the 10-year anniversary of beginning, no intercourse university, or I'm getting my doctorate. Been here a long time. So that would be fitting. But yeah, there were some other big reasons I like that 19th. I can't even remember much of what they were. But and don't forget 7:53 on the clocks. And I'm the only idiot on earth that thinks 7:53 could be August 22nd. That 7:53 is really just saying July 53rd. Or what in the world else is it? What else is it? Other than me marrying Candy, as she's my 53rd, that's my next marriage progression. Because 75 fused with the 53, 753. Because remember, her name is the C and Y. There's an and that sits in the middle of the name Candy. C-A-N-D-Y. Well, the C and the Y is like saying 3 and 25, which is 75. That's the only other thing else it can mean to me. And who else is really looking at this stuff but this channel? And nobody else trying to decipher what the 7:53 on the clocks means as far as when Trump would go down, or opening the book of Revelation, or like, what does it mean to go back to the future? Go back and marry my second wife? That seems to be mathematically tied to all this stuff. This gateway arch and this mathematical anomaly we have. That's just absolutely the most insane, bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. So that's it. Love y'all very much. I hope it happens Friday. Friday's a great day. Let's do it. Friday. Let's go.